What's up, Ram fans? Welcome back to another jam-packed edition of CTV Sports. I'm Madeline Davis.
And of course, I'm Leah Cackowski. Here's what we got on tap for you tonight.
Women's soccer starts up their spring games, while programs like softball and track continue to put in the work.
A special tennis feature from Nick Ortiz shows the behind the scenes of one of many successful women's programs on campus.
And last, we get quizzed on some of our March Madness knowledge.
All of that and more right here on CTV Sports, which starts right now.
Women's soccer has started their spring season, and while these games don't technically count, it is a good way for new additions to get used to each other. The Rams received 2 transfers this spring. First, junior midfielder Casey Laurie from Arkansas. As a sophomore, Laurie played in 9 games and scored 1 goal for the Razorbacks. The next transfer is senior defender and midfielder Maggie Altman from Nebraska. As a junior, Altman played in 14 games and scored 1 goal for the Huskers. While the transfers will most definitely add to this already strong Rams team, CSU is lucky to have returners like grad student Kennedy Layton and junior Olivia Fout. Layton was a key defender for the Rams, playing in all 22 games and contributing greatly to the 10 shutouts CSU had last season. Having her return for a 5th year is great news for the Rams. On the opposite end of the field, Auburn transfer Fout was the leading scorer for CSU last season with 12 goals, which also broke a single season goal record. Having Fout for 3 out of her 4 years is huge for the Rams. This is a program that is on the up, and it is exciting to see what the young team has in store for them next.
Let's talk about a 180 for CSU softball. Turning a 6-game losing streak to a winning weekend sweep is a way to get back on your feet. And it wasn't just any kind of sweep. It was an all-around, no-doubt performance from top to bottom. The Green and Gold had their first test against New Mexico on Saturday, and let me just say, they used the win to their advantage, racking up 11 hits with 3 homers. Pitcher Sydney Hornbuckle claimed her first ever in her career and was able to shut down the Lobos in the circle with just 5 innings and a final score of 12-4. Head coach Jen Fisher commented on Hornbuckle's performance, stating, "I'm really proud of her. She's a fighter. She's like glue. She's just so steady for us, and so I'm really happy for her. Just a great game for her and a great way to kind of break out of a little bit of a funk for us." And the momentum didn't stop from there, because Sunday was even better. Colorado State came out with the shutout win of a total of 16 runs, and that's all thanks to a season-high inning. Call it a home run derby at this point, because CSU scored a whopping 12 runs in the 2nd inning alone. Nothing went right for the Lobos, going through more pitchers than you can count, and there were a lot of familiar faces that made this run happen for the entire weekend. Ashley York, Sydney Hornbuckle, Peyton Allen, and Jaylee Wilson all got to trot the bases for a combined 7 home runs as a group, and even despite the crazy Colorado win, they found a way to power through. CSU has some new confidence heading into the weekend as they travel to Logan to face the Utah State Aggies.
Rams track and field had a weekend of their own at the Boulder Invitational this past Friday. However, the meet was condensed into a full-day schedule due to impending weather conditions for Saturday, but that was no problem for the Green and Gold, because they left Boulder with a total of 9 event winners. Tay Holker got herself first place in both the women's long jump and 100-meter dash with a personal record, while Michaela Williams took the 200-meter dash. Triple jump dominated on the men's and women's side, while Tim Johnson and Harry Brogan both marked 2.01 meters for the men's high jump. Like always, the throwing teams made it look easy. Maya Lesnar scored 61.65 meters in the women's hammer throw, while Michaela Hawkins held her own for discus. Kyle Bigley showed out for the men's side, as well, hitting a 52.41 meter mark in the discus throw. Next up for the Rams are both the Pacific Coast and Brian Clay Invitationals in sunny California starting this Thursday. But that's not all we have on track and field. Zoe, tell us more about one of CSU's own.
Hi Ram fans, I'm Zoe Weir, and to break up all of the sporting recaps, I had the awesome chance to interview one of CSU's top athletes. Let's get right into it. What's up guys, this is Zoe with CTV Channel 11 Sports, and I'm here today with Tay Holker herself, And Tay, all right, my first question has to do with the dynamic duo. You and tight end Dallin Holker made the transfer from BYU to CSU. Tell me a little bit about your transfer process.
When coming to CSU, or when just choosing a school to go to, we just needed to find somewhere that works for both of us. So we just we went on a lot of visits, or I guess we both went in the transfer portal at like the same time, and then we got a lot of interest from like different coaches, and so we were like really stressed about where we were going to choose. So then we narrowed our choices down to like 3 schools. We went on a few visits. We went on a visit here to CSU, and it just felt so good. It just felt right, and it worked out for both of us. The track team is great. The football team is great. We love the coaches and the team and everything, and so it just felt right. And so we knew we were supposed to be here for a reason.
All right, what about the CSU track and field program itself made you think this is going to be my next home?
The CSU track and field program has had a lot of success in the Mountain West, and they've won a lot of championships, and they have a championship culture here. We compete to win, and we compete to improve, and I could see that when I came on my visit and when I talked to the coaches, and I really liked that, and I could see that everyone worked really hard, and that's an aspect of sports that I really love. And so I just knew that coming here I would be able to improve, and that was my goal, is I just wanted to become a better athlete and be better at my events that I do. So that was like the biggest reason, and the coaches were great, and I could tell that they knew a lot. So.
All right, speaking of the winning culture, just over a month ago, CSU became the indoor track and field Mountain West champions. Tell me a little bit about your experience with that.
The experience felt great. I mean, we won the 2 championships before, indoor and outdoor, so it felt great to be able to do it again. We just, like I was saying before, we have such a championship culture, and we compete to win, and so like we go to conference like knowing that it's going to be us and that we have to give it our all, and we have high expectations, but we don't let that affect us, and we just go, and everyone does their part and plays a role in it, and it's such an exciting, fun thing. I love it so much.
All right, lastly, and most recently, just a few days ago, down in Boulder, you came home with some new hardware. You jumped the 8th best long jump mark in the country and 4th in the West region. Tell me about how you got to this point in your career.
Yeah, it's been a long 3 years of college of just like being very disappointed in my marks and not doing what I've been wanting, just like not jumping what I've been wanting to jump, and it's been very frustrating. And I obviously went through a transfer, and so having to come to a new program and just like getting used to everything, and it just seems like it's been a lot of disappointment. So finally being able to jump something that I feel like I could do, like I knew I could do it, I just hadn't been able to execute it. So being able to execute that was huge, and I actually started crying. I was very happy about it. It was a very amazing moment, and I feel very happy about it, and yeah, it was awesome. I'm excited to be able to build off of it for sure. That's like what I'm most excited for. So.
All right, Tay, thank you so much. We wish you good luck the rest of the season. Once again, I want to thank Tay for being on and being so cool. But now, Rams, let's go to another weekend recap.
Women's tennis was back home this weekend for 2 dual matches against the San Jose State Spartans and the Fresno State Bulldogs. Match 1 against the Spartans was a battle, but the day ultimately went to SJSU. The doubles point went to San Jose State, which ultimately was the deciding point on the match, as singles was an even 3-3 split. The match was immensely close, as 5 out of the 6 singles matches went to 3 sets. The Rams may not have won overall, but there were some personal victories that occurred on the weekend, including a gritty win from grad student Sharka Riktorova after experiencing an injury mid-match. Here's what Riktorova had to say. I just didn't want to lose, and I knew we needed the point. I just kept going. After the loss on Friday, CSU was back on Sunday for a match with the Fresno State Bulldogs, a team in which the Rams had never beaten. After a bit of lineup shifting, CSU seemingly found the magic formula as they reigned victorious 4-1, taming the Bulldogs for the first time in program history. The only Ram to drop a match was 3 singles Luana Avalar, who did not go down without a fight. Otherwise, CSU absolutely dominated. Here's what head coach Miley Tran had to say about the win and the team's overall performance throughout the weekend. We might have some tough days, but it's how do we respond. Our goal is to peak leading up to the conference tournament. So this was steps towards that. It was good timing. The Rams are currently sitting at 4-3 in conference with only 3 more matches left to play. Their next test is this Friday out in San Diego to take on the SDSU Aztecs. But this isn't all the tennis news we have for tonight. Nick?
You're absolutely right, Madeline. A huge win for the Rams against the Bulldogs this weekend. And before we start to look at those final 3 games, I thought I'd catch you up on the women's season up to this point.
After putting an end to their 3-game losing streak on Sunday against Fresno State, our women's tennis team now sits just shy of being 500, with an overall record of 8-9 and an in-conference record of 4-3. The women's season has been inconsistent to say the least. Jumping back between wins and losses throughout the regular season, the Rams are pushing to win their final 3 matches against in-conference teams before the Mountain West Championships. When looking at contributions throughout the team in their final efforts for a higher seed in the championship tournament, look to no other than Zara Lennon when she takes the court solo. Zara holds an impressive singles record of 15-8, the second highest win percentage on the team, right behind Victoria Erikchenko, who is 7-3 in her last 10 matches. These two, along with Sarka Riktarova and Radka Buskova being on 2- and 3-match win streaks, only point to the fact that these players have no sign of slowing down when it comes to taking the court solo. But it never hurts to have a friend, and it definitely doesn't hurt our Rams, who hold a similar win percentage in doubles matches to that of their singles. Unstoppable duos like Zara Lennon and Sarah Weekly hold a solid 12-8 record when it comes to playing together this season. And however strange it may sound, this team's double stats are absolutely fueled by one player, and that is none other than Radka Buskova. Buskova holds an absolutely insane record of 24-10 when it comes to playing doubles, holding a winning record with all 4 teammates she is paired with. But the one that really steals the show is her campaign with Victoria Erikchenko. This iconic duo is 8-2 in their last 10 matches, and sit on an absolutely red-hot 3-game heater. And while the overall record doesn't reflect this team's dominance entirely, Coach Miley Tran sums it up perfectly, saying, "That's been the story of our season. We might have some tough days where we're not playing our best, but it's how do we respond? How do we get up for the next match? Our goal is to peak leading up to the conference tournament. This was steps towards that. It was good timing." As the regular season begins to close in these next few weeks and the fight for that conference championship begins, we look to our Rams to turn the tide on their inconsistent season. As we just saw, we have the tools to do so. All that is left is the determination, grit, and will to win it all.
As you heard, the Rams head to San Diego this weekend to take on the Aztecs, where they hope to start heating up before the Mountain West tournament. Back to you, Leah.
Thanks, Nick. And while the semester may be winding down, there's still a lot to look forward to in Ram athletics, especially on the road.
Yeah, Leah, like I said earlier, track and field head to California to compete in both the Pacific Coast and Brian Clay Invitational this Thursday through Saturday.
Colorado State softball also travels west to compete in the weekend series against Utah State.
While women's tennis starts their long weekend of travel on Friday against San Diego State and then quick turnaround to face the UNLV Rebels in Las Vegas on Sunday.
And finally, women's golf starts the Mountain West Championship a week from today, while women's soccer has a test with the Buffs in Boulder.
Don't go anywhere just yet, Ram fans. When we come back, we discuss the history that was made throughout both NCAA March Madness tournaments.
After 2 years?
You gotta be kidding me! Okay, no.
Robbie!
Seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon? I can do fireball, that'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, to all of us!
Well,
We're in a 4-foot group!
I'm sorry, what else do you want me to do?
My God.
Okay. Hold on. All right. Wizard, what do you do?
The collegiate hoop season officially came to an end last night with UConn going back-to-back winning the men's championship. But before the men even took the court, South Carolina was crowned as the women's champion. South Carolina had a historic season that saw them go 38-0. This was the first undefeated NCAA women's hoop season since UConn also went 38-0 back in 2016. The Gamecocks' undefeated season wasn't the only historic moment we saw throughout the tournament, though. The championship between Iowa and South Carolina was the highest viewed college basketball game of all time, with 18.7 million viewers. This also made it the most viewed women's basketball game in history. Viewership records were consistently being broken throughout the tournament. each game bigger than the last. That in due part is owed to the incredible recruiting class of 2020 that ended up having 5 of the greatest women's college basketball players we have ever seen. Iowa's Caitlin Clark, LSU's Angel Reese, South Carolina's Camila Cordoso, Stanford's Cameron Brink, and UConn's Paige Beckers put this tournament on the map, each averaging or near averaging a double-double per game. All 5 players have also declared for the WNBA draft, only increasing the excitement for women's basketball, especially on a professional level. But this was just the beginning. There are still plenty of young stars in the sport, like USC's Juju Watkins and Iowa State's Audi Crooks, who were just both freshmen. But it's not just basketball that is on the up. It's women's sports in general, and that is absolutely great to see. Leah, what do you have about the men's side?
Yeah, Madeline, the women's side was so exciting this year. So many players have made an impact that will last forever. And well, history was made for the men last night as well. University of Connecticut became the 8th school to have back-to-back titles with their dub against Purdue. If we remember the very thrilling run with the Aztecs just a season ago, nothing was able to stop this group this time around as well. This one reached their 6th championship in program history. And here's what head coach Dan Hurley had to say about this impressive run.
I just think we're old school values, man, in terms of how hard we work, the type of people that we bring in. But we're also, we play modern basketball, and I think we've got a great formula right now for the people that we bring into the organization. And then, and I think we got a good formula with how we go about playing ball.
But Ram fans, that is not all the March Madness talk that we have for you tonight. When we come back, Ella joins us once again for another round of trivia.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
After 2 years?
You gotta be kidding me! Okay, no.
Robbie!
Seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon? I can do fireball, that'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, to all of us!
Well,
We're in a 4-foot room!
I'm sorry, what else do you want me to do?
Okay. Hold on. All right. Wizard, what do you do?
I'm Ella Fredrikson, and welcome back to another round of some March Madness CTV trivia. This time on some extremely detailed, some may even say obscure, March Madness knowledge. After I finish reading each question, Madeline, Nick, Leah, and Zoe will take turns giving their best guess and explanation. I know I'm ready, and how are you guys feeling about your odds?
Well, if it's like trivia before, Ella, no one knows what we're about to expect, but I'm excited.
Well, with that being said, I think they're confident, so let's just jump right in, shall we? Question number 1. I want you guys to picture yourselves with absolutely no basketball knowledge whatsoever. Done? Okay, great. What are the mathematical calculated odds of guessing a perfect bracket? Okay, your options are 1 in 6 billion, 1 in 9.2 quintillion, or 1 in 4 trillion. What do you guys think?
A. Because the second one is not a number.
You don't think 9.2 quintillion is a number?
I don't think quintillion is a number now.
Are you guys all going with A, 6 billion?
Wait, can you repeat
What are the
C
answers
again?
Sure, 6 billion, 9.2 quintillion, or 4 trillion.
I'll go 4 trillion.
I'm going to go 4 trillion too. I'm going to go with C.
I'm going with Madeline. I'm sticking with A.
Okay, 2 A's and 2 C's, and unfortunately, none of you picked the correct answer, even though there were only 3 options. If you have absolutely no basketball knowledge whatsoever and you guess every single game, the odds of you picking a perfect bracket are 1 in 9.2 quintillion.
I did not think that was a real number. I'm going to be so honest, guys. So sorry about that one. If you wanted to pick it, and then you listen to me.
Maybe you guys will have a little bit better of luck with question number 2. Now, who was the team to win the highest scoring March Madness game, and what was the final score? Your options are LMU to 149 to 115, Houston taking it 151 to 136, or UNLV taking it 131 to 101. What do you guys think?
LMU as in like Loyola Marymount University?
Correct.
In California? Okay.
Correct.
I'm going to go with UNLV.
I'll go with UNLV too. That sounds right.
I'm going to do Houston, give them a second chance. I had them going all the way this year, so I'm going to try to give them a little redemption right now and getting this question right.
I have no idea, so I'm going to go with majority and UNLV.
I know that UNLV, they were pretty dang dominant for a period of time. Like way before we were born, and like in the 80s or 90s. But they were like a basketball powerhouse.
You were studying for this one.
No, I just know that. Yeah, I got Mountain West knowledge stored up there.
I will agree that UNLV was once a basketball powerhouse that could put up that kind of number. However, you guys managed to go 0 for 4 once again. The correct answer for question number 2 was LMU, beating Michigan 149 to 115. Now, I was a little bit more confident in you guys than it made it seem in the beginning, but now I don't feel so hot. How are you guys feeling after that one?
Rock bottom, you can only go up from here, Ella. This is probably the hardest round of trivia I think we've ever received. So,
well, it gets better. I have a third question. For question number 3, which coach has the most national championships, and how many do they have? Your options are Coach K from Duke, Adolph Rupp from Kentucky, or John Wooden from UCLA. What do you guys think?
I think it's UCLA.
I think it's John Wooden.
I'm going to go K. Coach K.
I'm going to go Coach K
No, it's Duke is never the answer.
No.
I'm going to go Duke.
UCLA.
Even though I'm a little bit biased, I also agree that Duke is never the answer. How many national championships do you guys think the coach that you picked have?
6.
12.
I think it's 6. I'm pretty sure it's 6.
I'm going to guess 8.
All right, well, finally, we have some points on the board. Even though none of you got the number of national championships correct, the correct coach was John Wooden from UCLA with 10 national championships.
He's got an award named after him. I figure he's got to have done something good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was hoping one of you would get that one. Okay. Now, question number 4 is one of my personal favorites from tonight. How much were U.S. bettors expected to wager on this year's men's and women's NCAA tournaments? Your options are $3.2 billion, $1.9 billion, or $2.7 billion in online wagers. What do you think?
I'm going to go $2.7 billion.
I think was the first one 3.9 billion?
3.2 billion.
3.2 billion.
I want to go 3.7.
That was not an option.
I don't think
What was the last one? What was the last one?
I think it's 2.7.
2.7.
I'm going with 2.7.
I'm going to 3.2.
All right, 2 for 4 again. The correct answer was $2.2 billion in online wagers bet for both tournaments this year.
Wow.
I know quite a few people who contributed to that, and honestly,
100%.
that number is kind of scary at this point, but we won't talk about that right now. We'll save that for another show. Question number 5. What is the lowest team seed to make the Final Four, and who was that team? Now, I'm going to clarify for this question. Before this year, what is the lowest seed to make the Final Four, and who was that team? Okay? Your answer options are the 11 seed, the 10 seed, and the 9 seed. The 11 being UCLA, 10 being NC State, or 9 being Oral Roberts. What do you guys think?
I think it was Oral Roberts.
No.
I remember that recently.
No, they were a 15 seed, and they just made to the Sweet 16. Because then St. Peter's beat their record of being the 15 seed to go the farthest.
And
they
then we
went to
beat
the
them
Elite Eight.
in the home opener the year
That's what I was
after.
thinking.
So it's not Oral Roberts. Oh man,
I can repeat the options if you
Please
need.
do.
I'm gonna go NC State. I think they've done it twice. I think they're underestimated twice.
And the first choice was.
11 seed UCLA.
I'll go UCLA.
I'm gonna go UCLA too.
Am I allowed to change my answer?
Yeah, you can change your answer.
Well, NC. Yeah. I'll do NC State.
You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. The correct answer was UCLA of the 11 seed.
Oh.
I got one.
I was trying to trip you up a little bit there because NC State had such a run at such a high seed this year. But before this year, UCLA was the highest seed to make it to the Final Four at 11.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
Getting down to the wire here. We're on the 6th question. Who has scored the most points in NCAA tournament history? Okay. Option number 1, Brianna Stewart from UConn. Option number 2, Caitlin Clark from Iowa. Or option number 3, Lynette Woodard from Kansas. What do you guys think?
In just the tournament history, like you said?
Tournament history, ever. Men's or women's, but I only named women.
I know Caitlin Clark broke a lot of scoring records.
I know, but
She
I
did.
I didn't hear anything about.
She hit the most threes, I think, or tied it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Brianna Stewart.
What was the last name again?
Lynette Woodard.
I'm saying Lynette Woodard
I'll
from
go
Kansas.
Brianne.
I'll go Caitlin Clark because nobody said her.
Does anybody want to give a reasoning? Does anybody want to give a guess at how many points they think their chosen officer had?
512.
That's a lot.
That's quite, like, is this like career?
I was gonna say, I think this is career. This is across 4 years.
That's
No,
true.
not career, just the tournament.
No,
but
In one tournament.
like, yeah. Oh. I don't know.
I'm going to say 80.
80. No. It's much higher than 80. Caitlin Clark scored like 40 in one game.
I know, but like, I don't know if they have, well, I guess, I don't know, Ella, this is tricky.
Just tell us the answer.
If you guys want the number, I'll read you the options again, and then you can give me your final answers. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
The correct answer is 483 points.
Okay, so Madeline was actually on the right track.
You were.
I was a little lowballing.
And your options are Brianna Stewart,
I'm still going Brianna.
Caitlin Clark, or Lynette Woodard.
I'm keeping my
I don't know. I think I have a feeling about Lynette Woodard. I just do.
I'm going with Brianna because that's what Madeline said.
And I'm going to go Caitlin Clark.
Zoe, I am so proud of you. The correct answer. Caitlin Clark.
Wow.
Oh my God! Now we're tied with at 2 all.
Wow.
And
I
guys,
didn't think she did. I didn't think she had like all time. That's
Yeah.
that's
Slacking,
know.
yeah.
I know,
she
I'm
broke
done.
pretty much every single record you could possibly name.
my favorite
Do I
player
need
for a
one more to
reason.
win?
Now I've got
I
one
think so.
final question.
one
for you
final
guys.
question.
One
This
final
could-
question.
this could be a tiebreaker
for
with me
all
and
the
Zoe.
marbles. All the marbles, okay? Question number 7. Of the last 39 championships, how many have been won by a number 1 seed? Okay? Your options are 22 out of 39, which would be 56%, 32 out of 39, which would be 82, or 25 out of 39, which would be 64%. What do you guys think?
The first one.
I'll go 64%.
I think I'm also going with C, 64%.
Yeah, I'll go with the last one.
64%? So who was the one to not guess 64%?
Me, Madeline. I said A.
Madeline, do you want the good news or the bad news?
I don't care.
Good news is that you're sitting next to a bunch of winners. Bad news is that you were the one person to not get that question right. The correct answer was 25 out of the 39 last championships have been won by a number 1 seed.
I just got way too much hope in the underdogs. It's not fun when a number 1 seed wins.
Yeah, I will agree. I do like it much better.
Like this year, the men's tournament, not even fun.
Well, I won, right?
Yeah, because Zoe won. Zoe's the outstanding winner.
Well, Ram fans, that's all the March Madness trivia I have for them tonight. Stay safe and have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next Tuesday.